Hey everybody, it's Lindsay J back with another video, and I'm so excited because today I'm going to be showing you guys what I keep in my model kit for shows and shoots and anything model related. I think could be a great opportunity for people who have nothing to do with modeling world to see what models can, should, and do carry within their model kits, and also a great guide for those who are beginner models when you're trying to figure out what things you need in order to prepare for every show and every shoot. First, we're going to go over the essentials that I feel are important. The essentials include items that I keep in my suitcase and in my model kit all the time. I never take them out. That's even in the phase between shows or between shoots. I never take it out of my bag. It always stays in there. So let's go over those items first. I always love to have body oil or baby oil. I think it's super useful because especially during swim week, you have a lot of skin exposed, and when your skin looks more oiled down, it just makes the pictures and the content look better. I can give you guys a perfect example of what that looks like on the screen during swim week when they had oiled the crap out of my body right before I went on the runway. Quick little FYI, yeah. A quick little FYI for those who are beginner models or models in general, do not put the baby oil on until you are like a few models behind the model who's about to go out onto the runway. And the reason I say that is because our skin quickly absorbs body oil and baby oil. Baby oil is a little bit thicker, so it can last a little bit longer. But in general, our skin naturally absorbs these liquids. And by the time that it absorbs your skin, it no longer provides you with that shiny, glossy like look on your skin. So I typically suggest to people that they do not apply the baby oil until they are about to walk out on the runway, because again, it will be pointless. You will have to continuously apply oil onto yourself because you will notice that your skin continuously absorbs it and you're going to be wasting product. And let's be real, a lot of models do not have the finances to continuously buy products, which is why I would suggest you wait until you're about to go out onto the runway. Next, I like to keep this clip. A lot of times I also have like more of these, like I'll just keep a few of them in my bag. And the reason I like these clips is because I like to keep this clip so that I can pull back my hair if necessary for when any of the makeup artists need to do my makeup or any of those things. It just helps, as you can see, to like lift my hair up, and then they can see my face a little bit better and I won't get it all over my hair. I tend to get makeup all over my hair regardless of what happens, but this can at least help them to see my face better. One of the things I love to keep is makeup removers, and the main reason why is because like I have some sensory issues and makeup feels extremely uncomfortable to me, especially when I'm doing show makeup, because sometimes like they're packing on layers of makeup because you may have to switch designers and switch looks, and so they're taking off makeup and putting it on. This helps so much because if I feel like redoing my makeup before I go to an after party or whatever, I want to do touch-ups or whatever after the show is over, I have these, and these help me so much, especially if you're somebody who doesn't necessarily like to wear heavy eyeshadow. You can quickly take off your eyeshadow with these makeup wipes before you go out again after the show, because sometimes we like to go out to certain parties or hangouts because we know the other models will be there. So that is exactly why I love having makeup wipes. And sometimes if I'm by my bag and my bag is closer to me than the makeup artists themselves, and I'm in between designers who have different looks, I may go and grab a makeup wipe myself and start wiping off the makeup so that once I get into the chair when I need to have my makeup done, they will already have less work because I would have gotten rid of a lot of the makeup. That's why this is so flat, because I've been using it, honey. These are the only pair of underwear that I actually keep inside of my bag, and that's because who's going to be wearing white undies? There's literally no reason to be wearing white underwear except for when I wear a white outfit and that's what they want me to do. Like, I'm just not realistically going to be wearing a white pair of undies. They're white. I feel like that's enough exploration. You know, I would rather save those undies for when I have to use them for a show. If there's going to be any sheerness and the white matches the outfit better. So I keep those in there. I don't take them out. Then the night before a show, I tend to add my nude undies and maybe an extra pair of black undies. On the day of, I like to wear my black undies because, again, shortening the time that I may need in order to change. So I like to come in the stuff that I'm going to be wearing. It just makes it easier. In the undergarments that I know I'm going to keep on for the entire day, and I'll just be switching in and out of outfits, essentially. So the next part of that is pasties. I love the fact that I have these. A majority of the time, I do not need them, honestly. A lot of artists and creatives do not care about the nipple. So, you know, if it exposes or it's shown a little bit, people don't tend to care all that much, especially with the high fashion designers who are doing that on purpose. But sometimes there are designers who don't want that level of public expression with the body. So it can be really good to have these, because if the venue is cold, your nips are going to be a little hard and that will show through the outfit. And that's what they do not want. It makes it look a lot cleaner if it's just, you know, a round part, unless it's not what they want. If they want the nipple exposed, that's different. But a lot of times they would like it if you have a nipple cover. And nipple covers are great to have anyways, because if you're constantly changing and you're a model who has itty bitties or boobies at all, it can be great to have them, because you're like changing in and out of clothing backstage and you just simply do not have time to put a shirt on in between the next look. So sometimes you're going to have to walk around or run around with just nipple covers on. And obviously that's much more comfortable than having to hold your arms over your chest because it's exposed while you're simultaneously trying to change, sometimes with multiple people helping you. It's just very unrealistic. A lot of times parts are everywhere. Thank goodness that LA Fashion Week is like older adults. We don't have any kids back there, but genuinely a lot of parts are going everywhere because everybody's attractive. People don't tend to really care all that much. Like the male models are so used to seeing beautiful women. They might admire and think, oh wow, those are hot women we're with, but they don't sexualize body parts in the same way that the rest of the world does, because we are just so used to having to be around it. So I always tell models, I'm like, just put the nipple covers on and be okay with sometimes having to walk around with just your nipple covers on and maybe just like a thong on. Okay. Cause it's like, be real. How many times have we worn bikinis or two pieces that are literally thong bikinis? Okay. You're not doing anything crazy. This actually helps and benefits you, and the designers will be happier because you are quicker than everybody else when it comes to changing, being on top of your stuff, and being on time with the line and how everything needs to go. I also like to carry this little roller, a lint roller, because I have pets, and sometimes if I'm going out to another party afterwards, like an after party after the show, I want to make sure that there's no fur on my outfit. So I usually keep this with me just to make sure that I'm not walking around like a little white fur ball, because that's pretty much what my dog is a little white fur ball. So I don't want to be that. Okay. I don't want to be that. So I make sure I carry that. This item is so important, but not enough models carry them. Oh my God, they're panty liners. And I always tell people that they should really seriously be carrying these, because out of respect to your kitty and out of respect to whoever has to wear your outfit afterwards, in the event that the designer does not go and get the looks dry cleaned, because there are some times when they don't, and then you get the item and it smells bad or it has weird stuff on it, you need to make sure that you have a panty liner, because sometimes you cannot wear your undies because it will show. And so the only way to get around that is by wearing a cover underneath that's inside of, maybe like if it's a one suit or it's a bikini. This helps to keep you protected, because if it's not a brand new outfit, and even if it is and it has plans of being reused, you should be protecting your kitty and respecting the next person's kitty too. Not enough models carry these with them. They need to start carrying this out of hygienic purposes. You will thank me later. It'll make your life easier. So please bring yourself some panty liners. They're very important. So those are the essentials that I keep in my bag in between shows. They never leave my bag. It just helps to make sure that I'm prepared every single time. Now we're going to be going over the most important part of every single model kit, which is the shoes. The shoes are like the number one most important thing when it comes to these shows, to shoots, to literally anything that you do, because of the fact that it's supposed to match the outfit of whatever you wear. So these are like I'm going to show you guys like the basic heels that I think are the most important for every single model kit, and the things that models typically bring to every show and shoot. I will have the links to all of these essentials in my Amazon storefront down below. If you guys do want to buy any of this or check any of this out, I highly recommend that you do. If you are a model, or if you're a beginner model who's starting to get into shoots and all that stuff, trust me, even if you don't use these items, when you come in there with a suitcase, having all the proper things, having all the proper shoes, you look more professional and you have higher chances of getting booked in the future because of that. So please take these suggestions, listen to what I'm saying, bring them on with you, girl, okay? So the shoes. Let's start with these. I like these shoes. They're just like a basic chunky platform heel. I always go with platforms because platforms are more comfortable than regular heels. As you guys can see right here, this like little dip here it's not as big because of the platform. So your foot doesn't get as uncomfortable as quickly. That's why I like to walk in platform heels. It just makes it a little bit easier. I can walk in any shoe. Sometimes I have to change up the shoe because of the designer. But typically, I like to wear platforms. It just makes my life easier. Then you got the basic black stilettos, which honestly is probably my most worn shoe for every single show, every single thing I've done. These are probably the most worn shoes that I use. And honestly, it's starting to come apart in certain places. So I'll probably be buying myself some new ones. But these are like the basic stiletto black heels, and they're super important for runway and various shows in general because they're just a basic black shoe. And I think that stilettos are very flattering. I think it's like a sexy cut. So that's why I have this one. And then I have the chunky heel, depending on what the designer wants. Again, most of the time they choose the stiletto, but these chunky heels are actually really great for like industrial brands or like playful brands that like these platform thick heels because they might put me in like a bikini and it looks very cute and chunky, or it'll be like an industrial or street fashion brand that likes the fact that these are just a little bit more chunky and add a little bit of fierce spice. So like those two. Next, you got the nude stiletto heels. These are really important. I don't really wear them as much, but they are very important because depending on what you're wearing, the designer may want this or the other because like sometimes black just doesn't look good with the outfit that you're wearing. Black is such a bold, strong color. So while it is classy and nice, if you're wearing a bright color, they'll most likely prefer that you wear something that is nude or something that is clear. These are the clear shoes that I bring. I have not yet worn them on the runway. I don't think any of the designers that I will and have walked for will really care for them. These are kind of known to be like stripper heels, but I carry them because I have seen them used in different shows and shoots. So I decided to get myself a pair. They're just clear platform high heels. So I'm like, you know what? I don't care if it's a stripper heel or not. Like, I'm going to do what I got to do. Okay. I just wear what the designer tells me to wear. And based off of all the things that I've seen, there have definitely been shows where I've seen these shoes being worn or used or requested by the designer. So that is exactly why I have it. So those are basically all the shoes that I feel are the most important. Again, I'll have all of this linked in my Amazon storefront down below in the description. But these are the 4 pairs of shoes I bring. You got the nude stiletto, the clear stiletto, the black stiletto, and then the black chunky heel. These are the most important part of the entire suitcase. If you ain't got no heels, then you're either not walking or you're walking in someone else's shoes that are extremely uncomfortable. So make sure that you do not forget those. Now, another additional piece that I think models don't typically think to do, but I'm going to suggest it now, is that a majority of the times, the places that we go, like the venues that we're in, are freezing cold the whole entire day. So even if it's hot outside, it's freezing cold inside. So I suggest that you guys go ahead and buy yourself a kimono or some kind of a robe that you can wear backstage. Sometimes people go and buy that, like the Victoria's Secret one. I personally just like my own flavor. I don't really like branded logos and clothing and all that stuff. So I got this cute little thing off Amazon. And I will, again, keep the links down below if you guys want to go ahead and get it. I'll put something like my model kit so you guys can see everything I keep inside of my model kit. But I'm so glad that I bring this with me because I get cold so easily. I have anemia, so backstage is like terrible for me. So I'll bring this one and then another one that's actually fluffy in case I really do get cold. And then that way, you know, I have some cover up backstage, and sometimes the outfits we wear are minimal clothing, so I legit cannot really wear much clothing, and having this little robe helps to make sure that I am protected by that AC because, oh my god, I get cold. I be getting real cold. And wearing pants and stuff like that is just super inconvenient because tight pants or leggings or whatever take more effort to take off. So I'm like, I just want to get quick in and out. Like, your number one goal with all of this should be quick in and out. Like, your goal is to try and make your life as easy as possible by making sure you have everything prepared, everything set up. That's why I suggest to models that they pack the night before or even 2 nights before. Do not wait until the very last minute. You will be crying because if you forget something, you are not promised to walk. And trust me when I tell you that these designers are not very nice. They will not care. They will look at you straight in your eye and say you are never walking for them again. So if I were you, I would make sure you come prepared by going over all this, looking at everything. And you know what? I will leave down below a model kit checklist so that if you guys want to go buy that for like $2.99, I will leave it down below. It will basically just be a Canva printout that you can use. It's digital, but you can also print it out and keep it somewhere like in your bag. And you will be able to use that checklist as a reference to make sure that you have everything that you need on show day, and you won't have to be jumping around trying to find things, because stuff like this is just very important to have in your kit. You got to have these things. If you don't, you are in trouble with certain situations. So that's why I keep stressing this, okay? I have about almost 11 years of runway experience and 20 years of modeling experience. So please listen to me when I tell you guys this. And the other things that I like to bring are just the regular purse essentials, like my wallet. You know, I'll bring like a battery pack to make sure I'm fully charged. I don't really like carrying my charging cable. I'm worried about getting it lost. So I'd rather have a battery pack. I carry around these really cute charcoal oil pads so that if my skin starts to get oily from all of the makeup, I can just pat myself down and I'm not messing up my makeup, and I'm just like taking care of that oil and getting that absorbed off my skin. And I may sometimes also bring like a secondary purse, because if I plan on going out afterwards, I don't want to have to carry my suitcase, my backpack, or my wallet individually in order for me to go and like if I'm going somewhere after the show, I don't want to have to be bringing my backpack or my suitcase. So I want to make sure I have like a cute little purse that I can stick inside of my suitcase, that once the show is over, I can just take my purse, put my wallet and other essentials in there, and then I can keep my suitcase closed up in my trunk while I get to go have fun with my cute little purse, honey, okay? So next I want to talk about what I like to put into this bag, which is just like the extra bag that I carry. It's for all the aspects. It's for all the things that I don't necessarily want to have to search into my suitcase to get, because sometimes a suitcase can be really inconvenient if you're in a hurry. So that's why I keep the big stuff in there, because I could just grab it in and out. But the little things I like to put in here. So one of those things, I mean, this I don't actually put in here. I keep it in my suitcase, but it's my little Louis Vuitton purse. It's the bag that I carry with me so that after the show, if I do decide to go out with my friends or do something fun, I don't have to carry around a backpack or a suitcase. So it makes it much easier. Other things I get put into this bag are the basic essentials, like my wallet, my, like, those little things. Wallet, I like to bring a battery pack because I don't like bringing the cords. I think that the cords are easily lost, and they're commonly lost backstage because everybody kind of has the same one. So I like to bring a battery pack that's fully charged, of course. Make sure that I have my battery the whole time so I can get all the extra content that I would like to. I also like to carry this. This is like one of those handheld lights. It's so useful. It has a little clip here that you can use to put it on your phone and adjust it and all that stuff, which I really like. I love this thing. I will have it all linked down in the description box below in my Amazon storefront. So I hope you guys go and check that out. This is like literally such a lifesaver, especially at shows or events where the lighting is not always good. Typically, they take all of their best lighting and they focus on the runway, or at events, the red carpet. So whenever you're at the other parts of the venue, it's not really good. So this light helps to save lives, okay? I've even had to give this to friends and stuff for them to go and take some good pictures because the lighting back there is so bad. So I'm like, yes, keep yourself one of these if you want to get some good content. That needs to be charged though. Then after that, I like to bring my Vaseline Intensive Care Deep Restore lotion. I liked keeping this with me because I don't want to look ashy. That's like my biggest fear, is looking ashy. So I keep this with me, and I just love having it. Make sure my skin's nice and soft, looking good. Ashiness doesn't look good in pictures either. And even if I plan on wearing baby oil, I still want my skin to be moisturized first. So I typically like to apply this at the beginning of the show day, like right after I get to the venue. Give myself a good, strong, moisturized base, and then I don't actually have to reapply it at all for the rest of the day. I am obsessed with this. This was a gift from Perlanera. This is Labella perfume oil. They are an Arabic perfume company that I am so obsessed with because it smells so good. They gifted me this along with their spray perfumes, but they got me into perfume oil because perfume oil lasts so much longer, but is incredibly strong. And it doesn't just last longer on your skin and as a scent, but it also lasts longer in storage. I have used this thing so many times, and yet it looks like I haven't even opened it. I haven't even gotten to like the base of anything. I haven't even gone halfway, and I have been using this a lot. And it's because it has a strong scent, and after it absorbs into your skin, it just tends to last for several hours. And I take a tiny bit. I'll just like shake it like this and then dab my finger in the areas, and sometimes just give my hair a little swish too. And it will help to give my hair, my body a nice smell that's also a little bit more natural. And I'm obsessed with it. So obsessed with this. I also bring a spray perfume too, because sometimes the outfits we get are not dry cleaned, so they can smell kind of bad. And I am very sensitive to smells. It's like very hard for me to have to endure smells that I don't like. I can handle it, but like I have a lot of sensory issues and sensory sensitivities, and scents are one of those things. So that's actually partially why I have a perfume collection and why I love perfume, because it can help me to mask the scents that I don't like. And I like to smell good. So there's that. Now, this is the thing I'm most excited to show everybody because it looks like it's just a basic thing, but it's actually a pocket tripod. So when you open it, it opens up to a full tripod. So first you have the regular selfie tripod / vlogging camera tripod. And then you can open these up and it has the 3-stair, like the little 3-piece tripod. So now you got like an actual tripod and it fits right in your pocket. That's why I love this, because if I'm wearing a jacket that has pockets or something, I will literally just keep this in there. And if I ever have a moment where I want to like make content or film a video or just literally anything, I will take this out and I will use this. So many people love it too. So I'll make sure I put this down below as well. One of the other things I feel like it's important too is that sometimes you won't like how the makeup artist did your makeup. And because of that, it's super important that you bring like whatever you consider are your most essential items when it comes to your daily makeup. For example, that could be like foundation, contour, concealer, you know, things like that, translucent powder, and then your favorite brushes, because sometimes you may not like the way that they did your makeup, and you want to make sure that you can do touch-ups in between when you're about to go on the runway so that you can feel good on the runway, you can feel beautiful, because you don't have to have them do all of your makeup. Like sometimes people think that that's it, but unless you're getting like an intense look or a special eyeshadow look, if you want to do your base, that is perfectly fine. One of the things that a lot of models don't know is that for the production standpoint and the direction standpoint, having base makeup could actually be very useful, because it means that doing your makeup will take less time in comparison to other models. So when you go in there and you're like, oh, I already have my base done, that tells any person who works with you that you kind of are showing up professionally. You already know what you're supposed to do, and you're coming here a step early, So I like to bring my makeup with me. I do know a lot of makeup artists though. So at the same time, I'm like, maybe sometimes I'll hit them up in advance or try and figure out which ones will actually be there at the show, and then I'll have them do my makeup, because I love to give credit where credit is due. There's a lot of talented makeup artists that I have worked with because of these shows, and I love working with them. We get to share our following, we get to build together, we get to do so much together, and it's just so exciting to see them each time. And I want everybody to know that while you're at these shows, it's not about just putting on a good performance. It's also about bringing good energy backstage and getting to meet new people from all over the world. That's one of the best parts about being a model. I get to meet people from all over the world all of the time and hear so many different accents and super cool stories from people from all over the world. And that's like probably one of my favorite parts about what I do as a model. These fashion shows, that's what it is. It's like it's literally a massive community of people from all over the world who are showing up, sometimes exhausted, sometimes on their last straw because they just came from something else or are still juggling multiple jobs while they're trying to make it as a model. And like, it's really incredible to connect with those people. And you can open yourself up to so many opportunities by doing so. Some of the people that you meet backstage could be your stepping stone to a bigger opportunity. And that doesn't mean go into the setting with an opportunistic mindset. It just means be kind to everyone. Make friends with everyone. Try to talk to everyone with equal kindness and respect, because you never know who you're talking to and you never know what resources that they have. That doesn't just go for following, for money, but also quality of life. Maybe you could meet somebody who might turn into your best friend at one of these shows, or somebody who turns into being the love of your life. So just be open, be kind, show up, and have a good attitude, and you'll be surprised at how far you could go just with that alone. And a little quick tip for people, because I always have people ask me, like, Lindsay, how do you get your walk down? Like, I love your walk. How in the world do you do that? And these schools will try and teach you all these technical things and footworks or whatever. All that is just bullocks. It's not real. I mean, it's kind of real to an extent, but in reality, it's not. The thing that makes a good walk is confidence, okay? A supermodel, the difference between a supermodel and a model is that a supermodel embodies modeling and a model just recreates modeling. So a perfect example of that is like when you see somebody trying to act like a model versus somebody who just is one. That doesn't mean that both of them aren't just as beautiful as a supermodel, but it's about how they embody modeling that makes the difference. If somebody is going to a shoot and all they do is pose, 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 but the poses are basic, they're not so much, that doesn't help anyone. Like, one of the things I like to do at shoots is I like to do slow movements because it comes across as more candid in the images because my body is constantly moving. There's no stopping happening. I'm hitting multiple poses, but they're happening so slowly that they can take pictures that look good and it almost feels seamless and candid. And that's because it is. My body is in movement. I'm not stopping. So it is candid, and a lot of photographers, they like that. And if they need anything, they will direct you. So these are my little tips when it comes to Fashion Week, what I keep in my bag for Fashion Week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that this gave you guys some information, some inspo, some knowledge, a little bit of everything. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It means so much to me. I'm hoping that we can continue to grow the J family. Go check me out on all my other social media platforms. I am most active on Instagram, and I'm so excited because we are on the road to 200,000 followers, which is really insane, honestly. And here on YouTube, we're on the road to 100,000 followers. So let's keep growing. I'm excited to see where this journey takes me and by default takes us together. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. And let me know down below what you think of this video. If you have any life hacks or tips, or if you have any questions, let me know. I would be happy to answer them. So I love you guys so very much. I'm excited to see you in the next video or the next podcast episode. So peace on the streets.